Welcome to the capital planning meeting of October 2nd, 2024. Roll call, dear.
Sandy Slavin.
No, you read off who's here.
John Foster, Derek Sullivan, Charlie Kluber, Alan Slavin.
Thank you.
We have a quorum.
Item number 1, dear.
Item 1.
Adjust your glasses.
I declared a quorum. I'm accepting acceptance of the 9/11/24 minutes as presented.
Anyone have any
Motion.
questions on the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes of 9/11/2024.
By necessity, I'll second it.
So you want, I'm sorry, I normally expect the chair to call the vote.
Okay. Mrs. Slavin. I'm on 3 now.
We don't have to do a roll call.
No, we don't.
We did a roll call. I declared a quorum. I have a
those
motion
in
and a
favor?
second. Thank you.
Aye.
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 500. The minutes have been accepted.
Next, dear.
Discussion and vote to approve the WPCF capital request $430,000 for the roll-off containers and trailer.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on it at all? None heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 500. You made a note that I think Sam Corbett's not present, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
In order to support that, Scott did send us the document that we asked for, in the format that we asked for that roll-off container. So he did what we
Yeah.
asked him to do. Okay.
Next.
Discussion and vote to approve the capital planning webpage changes. Did you ever do anything?
Not yet. Put it on the next meeting. Next.
Discussion of bylaw Division 6 Article, Division 1 Article 6 Section 2. You want to discuss the bylaw changes? You want to hold off on that?
Yeah, basically, we're talking about changing the dollar amounts. I still need input from the town administrator on that. And the town treasurer. I'll try and get that done in the next week or so, I apologize. Next step. We're going for a record today.
This is good. Life is good.
I can't write that fast.
Yeah.
Yes, dear. You remember your always.
Discuss charter change for our finance rep.
That was part of the last one.
Yeah, well, I just think this wasn't anything of immediate, but it's something we should look into to give more flexibility. That
Yeah, I
instead
think
of-
we already kind of put something
Yeah.
together, and maybe at the next meeting, we'll just have the verbiage.
Yeah, so,
I believe you already supplied us what you'd like to see.
like I said, it's not something that's
It's not
of
critical.
immediate concern, so.
Next.
Review and vote to approve the 5-year plan for fall town meeting.
I wanted to I was looking at this and I had some suggestions like the police cruiser section, we only had them for 2025. I think we should keep that going through the other years, and I made some amendments on here. So did we have 2 cruisers on there for the?
We had 2 cruisers for equipment for $160,000.
So I think we should up that to 3 cruisers and just bring it through every year, 2025, 2020. I mean, you can give it a 10% escalation if you want, but I think just keep it.
Well,
How many cruises did you
Derek, do me a
actually have
favor,
that
go
they
back
use?
the previous page, the first page for the police,
Page 205.
2 of 5. It says ongoing cruiser replacement, capital lease to $170,000 for each year. You want that changed?
Yeah, because it's really 170,000 that's spread over 3 years. It's a one-time $170,000.
So what should it be for each one of those months?
So I would do FY26, keep it as 170,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would think you're probably at FY '29, keep it at 170. And then I would do what we just spoke about.
10%.
Yeah, because you were doing two things. That's the one that's in the budget, but we're always adding between 2 to 3 vehicles for the police department.
Yeah,
Then what do I put in, sorry, what do I put in 27 and 28?
27 and 28 for which lines, Andy?
The cruiser replacement capital lease. I have 170,000 for 4 years.
When we do the 170,000, we're expending that, we put it within the budget. So it's 170,000 a year. This is kind of a misnomer. I don't know how to really track it, because we're leasing it and making those payments during that time, but it's not an extra capital appropriation. We're just keeping it within the
So
budget.
just keep it there as it is?
Yeah.
Because we haven't, it just
Yeah.
says, it's looking that we will be doing something for the next 4 years, even though we've not done anything on this line for this year.
Yeah.
So leave
I
it
mean,
as it is.
technically, it was already in the, FY '25 is already in the budget.
Yeah. 2 cruisers at 160.
Yeah, that's what we
That's-
actually have.
that's-
Didn't you just say 3?
Yeah, that's
That's
what,
not
well,
fair.
so there's a separate line, Troy, it was saying within the actual FY '25 budget.
That's the next page.
Okay.
Shall I
So we're-
update this one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we're
that's
talking
what I'm just
capital.
trying to figure out. So I got it, you've got that number in the actual ongoing projects in the other section.
Okay.
But we've been doing the leases for the police cruisers here.
Gosh,
Because if it's a
7,
constant
8
piece,
years.
it's still, even though we've approved it 1 year, because we're turning over like we should have done with the school buses years ago.
Right.
It's always gonna be the same amount. You're paying, we lease them, what, 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
So you take a third of the 170, plus the 2 you're gonna get, you might as well just leave the whole number at 170.
Okay. But on the next
that okay?
page, we're changing 3 cruisers with their equipment. Do I up it from 160 to something else?
To 240.
I think maybe I'm wrong, but I'd asterisk from one to the other and just say, and put something at the bottom explaining what we're doing, because we're not really doing what you say.
I totally don't understand anything you just said. I've already asterisked everything.
Oh, so she did put that as a capital lease, so that's just showing the funding.
Yeah,
This one's actually purchasing three cruisers on each of the fiscal years if we set it up at the 240.
For a specific year.
Yeah,
yeah. So what you're doing is every year you're paying 1/3 of the lease of one of the vehicles is still
Well-
on lease.
See, I see this ongoing as, we want it every year. It's nothing been approved. It's just in the plan that we want to do something.
So it should just stay at 170, nothing else.
Can I leave it the way,
yeah, you can put it
Yeah.
at 170, I'm okay with that. The amendment to the three cruisers for the
472.
and cost
Yes.
240K?
And then.
Anything else?
Yeah, so I actually got somebody that was interested in the school buses and sent in a letter. I'm gonna respond to them. But when I noticed we did the purchase and equip 3 buses for FY '25. We didn't include that going forward. That should go and continue on. We need that.
It's the only way it's gonna
Yeah,
work.
and I was looking at, because I was trying to figure out how many buses, but, yeah, we're probably looking at 25 buses, so I want to explain to the person how.
6-year lifespan.
Well-
Yeah,
Safe.
yeah, so,
5 and 6.
On the first line, we have new vans and buses, 400,000 as an ongoing, so we already have accommodated our plan to do this in the future.
so why wouldn't we, I got what you're saying, that's the ongoing.
That's the
400,000.
ongoing, but we put the 425 in FY '25 as a specific want,
Okay,
as opposed to, it's our plan to do buses, 400,000 for the next 4 years.
so the ongoing is basically just saying, hey, this is our aspirational idea.
Yes, we want to
Our
continue.
wish list.
Yeah, so let's amend, do you want to amend that to the 425, so at least it kind of syncs
Okay.
up?
Better, it's easier to go more than less.
Okay,
Okay. And that basically gives you a simple explanation of, how you keep your bus fleet safe and basically intact properly, and keep your maintenance costs low.
what I am confused about is the fire alarm system for the high school. It was funded in FY '21, but I have 280,000 in FY '25. Did I do something wrong?
They were looking at the same thing for the middle school, weren't they?
Yeah,
Last time they were here.
he said they had to replace the fireboard.
Yeah, that goes back to Adam 26.
There's two things. There was one, the fire alarm system that they actually did, but they have to redo something else with it because it triggers off. They've made it, what they've done now is replaced a bunch of things, made it safe for the, but there's a section where they want to have so the alarm can trigger point where within the building there's an issue. So it would say, you know.
They want an addressable system. It
Right,
tells them
yeah.
The address of the detector that goes in the alarm.
Correct, yeah,
So
so,
it's just a little piece though.
yeah.
So it's a new
But we
piece.
do have the middle school fire system for $135,000 in FY '26.
Yeah, so I wonder
We
if
do.
that's what they're
Yeah.
talking about with that, for the 135, because I remember having that conversation. When the middle school.
Yeah, because they came in and gave us that.
So I should remove the $280,000 in FY '25 for the fire alarm system in the high school? Hasn't that been done since it was funded in '21?
This one did finally get done. I'd have to check what the final cost was on that one, but that has been accomplished.
Okay.
I'll just leave it starred, but I will remove the amount in FY '25. The $280,000. I'm still confused. Karen's doing something.
Yeah, I
You
was
want-
looking up.
You want me to leave it there?
Leave what there.
The
I
280,000?
know that that's been done.
Okay,
Excuse me. so-
should I just remove that whole line?
Yeah, this is an accomplished project.
Okay,
Next.
all right. Anything else?
No, I think, was there anything else anybody had looked through and seen?
Two questions for you. The Tremont Nail facility,
Yeah.
we have, I think Wareham Redevelopment Authority has hired a company. Do we have any projected expense for us?
No, we don't have anything for us
Okay.
except for the dam.
Well, the dam is a separate thing, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask about that. We have, Plan A,
I
Plan
need you
B.
to see this email regard the Tremont Nail and Redevelopment Authority.
Yeah, no, Dan doesn't remember. Dan wasn't there for all the stuff,
Okay,
so.
And the
So-
other piece of the dam itself, do we still have a grant? We're hoping for that.
For what?
Or do we have to give the grant? We had a grant for the Parker Mill Dam. Are we gonna give one back?
No, it wasn't for the dam, it was for bridges.
Okay.
But if you're going to take, if you wouldn't put two new bridges on there if you're going to take the dam down.
Correct.
Yeah.
So should we realize, do we have any idea what the cost might be in the town, or we're just going to be guessing?
No, that's up to the company that's been hired to give us that estimate.
I mean, we estimated a 1.3 million for the Elm Street Dam.
That's correct. I mean, that could be,
That's in the plan.
that's probably plus or minus 5 million.
Probably pretty much correct.
That's a pretty big plus.
Because if you take.
I'll take a minus that, but.
Well, if you take the Parker Mill Dam out, you're gonna have to do
I know, yeah.
restitution for people upward.
Yeah.
And you have to reevaluate the properties. Hopefully up,
Why?
more
They
land,
still have a river.
they have more land.
What have you done over Tremont Dam? Everything upstream is dried up. So what are you gonna do there?
Nobody's doing anything.
No.
Alan's
Nothing
being-
right now.
Okay.
Alan's being facetious.
Yes, I have.
Do you think I know that?
No.
After 54 years, do you think I know that?
55 there.
Not yet.
What year is today?
Never mind.
2024. We were married in 69, yeah.
Oh. Okay, unfortunately, this is being taped, so come on.
Sandy's
Anything
down to
else,
zero.
if I make these changes for the 5-year plan, can we vote on it as modified as opposed to waiting for another
Before we do that, anybody have any questions on what's been presented?
The Bayview Park one, I'd like to bring that into, we did Bayview and Highland Ave. Highland Ave was a bigger portion of that, but bring that number to about 1.6 million, because the 1,080,000 was the CPC portion. It did not include the CDBG or ARPA on there.
CBDG and ARPA.
Yeah. You don't need to put that in there. What I'm saying is the actual, we're trying, on the town buildings, the Bayview Park, it says 1,080,000.
Yeah,
That should be about 1.6 million.
1.6 million, even though it was funded not just with all CPC.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay,
that was just the CPC allocation.
So should we?
so I should change this Bayview Park and, what's the name of the street?
I don't-
Yeah, I don't think you have Highland Ave.
No,
That's why I didn't include the Highland Ave cost portion in that 1.6. That's a separate
so,
one.
so how much
So-
is the Highland?
You don't need that in there. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
yeah,
So I just Bayview Park, 1.6 million.
correct.
Do you want to signify that the 1.6, a certain amount is covered by?
I'll do it in the minutes.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Okay,
we haven't shown, you know,
I'm just looking at what the net is, so.
yeah.
CPA and ARPA and
CDBG.
CBDG grants.
CDBG,
CDBG.
Community Development Block Grant.
Okay.
Anybody have
I didn't
any
realize it would be taking it down so far by reducing the height of it and building up in some sections to
Yeah,
decrease the angle of
yeah.
ramp up.
The one on the South Boulevard side really boosted up nicely. And that walking path, instead of dipping down, now has a really beautiful water view the whole way through. The other sides, it wasn't that it took it down. If you look, the overall height hasn't changed.
Changed. It
It's
just,
brought it in.
the slope, the angle on the slopes changed.
Right,
Okay.
so, and it's got, it's really, it's interesting on there. The pathway along Onset Ave is gorgeous with its width, you can see how wide it's going to be. And they're going to have to fix some of the wall there. I told them make sure they keep the granite wall that's on Onset Ave, and they're going to repoint it as well. And then the new railing's going to be taken off of the wall and brought in a little bit, so your new railing's not on the wall, which I think is a nice thing, so. All in all, really nice project. Lawrence Lynch has been excellent to work with so far, so.
Anybody have anything else? Need a motion to approve the capital plan as established today.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 5-0. Next.
Unanticipated items received in the last 48 hours.
The only thing I have, I actually would like to sit down if the town administrator and the town treasurer are amenable just to talk about future as far as the borrowing, except for money sources going into the future, which is part of the Mass General, laws for the capital planning committees, which we talked about adding the second part that we've never done.
Yeah, I watched the meeting about Arlington, then realized they cheat because.
Yes, they do.
Yep, so they talked about they have their 5% of their budget is capital, and they strictly adhere to it. Well, how they adhere to it is they bring free cash into their budget every year in the amount of 5% to put towards capital. So I said, it's no different than what we're doing, we're just calling it pay as you go. They like to claim they're doing something special, so,
Well,
Smoke and mirrors.
yeah.
they have, I checked, they have 6 employees in the town that handle the finance committee, paperwork, reports, everything.
Yep, just the budgeting.
That was the last thing on the agenda, other than when we have our next meeting.
Right now, since once we have the capital plan done, we have nobody else, I believe, coming before us. So there is no reason to have a meeting before town meeting.
Do you want to hold on the 23rd as a just in case if something happens in the next
Are you
couple of
expecting
weeks?
something bad?
I
You'll have free, you'll have
Hope
free
for the-
cash?
hope for the best, plan for the worst.
Okay,
So,
it's fine with me. I know you have to basically,
If needed,
your articles are based on that you want to, you haven't made your decision what you're actually gonna go ahead with for capital plan.
yeah, so, you
So
know,
we can do that for that
23rd.
meeting.
yeah.
Do the
that's it.
23rd, 1 o'clock, if that works for everybody.
I'm just gonna put down if needed.
Works for me.
I assume that word that you're expecting your free cash shortly.
Bad word is shortly, so.
1 o'clock, same as today.
We're
Yeah.
hoping to get it before the 28th.
Okay.
It take the state a couple of weeks
I
anyway.
know.
It's not like a 2-day turnover anymore.
Yep, submission is either the end of this week, beginning of next week, so that's the type, so.
Okay.
If we have free cash, will you be able to put the items you want on the warrant on the 28th?
Yeah, well, the finance committee is asking me to have that for the, maybe even for next week instead
Yeah,
of the
they can push it.
16th. So I'll double check and move through it and just base it on estimates of free cash, because I've got no problem bringing things back in spring for some capital items. I just prefer to make sure that we're keeping like the replacements, because when we missed a cycle, it basically created an 18-month instead of 12-month turnaround on it, so.
So our next meeting will be in the 23rd at 1 o'clock, and I'll get our meeting room.
Yeah, and I definitely know that we're gonna be putting the money forward for the ambulance, the upcharge on the ambulance, or the final cost. That's $75K, so. But I'll regale you with what we figured out.
So the agenda will be any possible free cash purchases.
Yeah, I would say, discussion and possible update to 5-year capital plan, discussion and possible vote on anything town meeting. Technically, the capital plan committee's already approved it if it's been on, but there could be something that happened. There could be something at sewer, we know it happens. you know.
Discussion and
Yeah.
possible
Hope
vote
happens.
to update capital plan.
Yeah, discussion, yeah.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Hey,
Okay, 500.
and time is 1:27.
perfect.
Record.
So it's not, we'll do that.